What do I know about love? Maybe nothing. And that's why it's everything.
Hi beautiful beings, it's your favourite cinnamon girl Leah, and this is a place where we talk about spirituality, style and stories. I have filmed this video, no joke, 10 times. It keeps going wrong, but hopefully we'll get through this because this is a Valentine's Day special and it is how we can make our life more romantic. Okay, this is a video for whether you're a guy or a girl. Be directed to girls, but if you're a guy you can use it. Whether you're single, in a relationship or married for like 10 years, you can use these principles. I guarantee you can make your life more romantic. So we're going to divide this into 3 segments. What is romance? The 3 principles of romance, or the 3 mindset principles of romance, and what we can do to make our lives more romantic. They all intertwine, so even though there's timestamps down below, I recommend you watch the whole video to get the full value of the video. And finally, there's going to be a little Valentine's Day message for all of you, so please hang on until the end of the video to hear that. Now, let's go straight into the video. Let's start with what is romance. Romance and love are not the same thing. Romance is, according to the internet dictionary, a quality or feeling of excitement, mystery or remoteness from life. So that means it doesn't have to be a physical thing necessarily. It can be, you know, the romance of the sea, the romance of a moment, the romance of getting onto the plane for the first time for your first flight. Romance arises from novelty. Okay? It arises from something other than our ordinary everyday life. And that is so important to understand, because we then understand that romance is everywhere, or it has the potential to be everywhere. There's an infinite supply of opportunities to create romance. And that goes on to the first principle of romance. The first principle of romance is that it is a quality or feeling. And if it's a quality or feeling, as we know, if you've been on my channel before, that means that it is something which you're manifesting. It is part of the law of attraction, and as it's part of the law of attraction, it is something manifesting internally in your mind. In fact, you don't even have to believe in the law of attraction. You have to just believe in your mind. Because if it's quality or feeling, you control it right up here. It's not external. Romance is not external. It's a feeling inside of you. So you get to control how much romance you feel. You get to control how much romance you see in a moment. And if we get to control it, that means we get to manifest more of it. The second part of, or the second principle in order to create more romance or more romantic mindset approach, is understanding that romance is not fixated in a person or a place. I think a lot of us have been conditioned to think that romance is fixated in a person, that we are going to get all our romantic needs from one person, which is simply not true. Now, by no means am I saying monogamy does not work. I believe in monogamy. That's what works, you know, for a lot of us, or for some of us. What it means is widening your definition of romance, you know, seeing that romance can be romance of the sea, romance of, you know, having an exciting night and, you know, having endless possibilities, and understanding that not one person or not one thing can give that to you. You know, there's infinite opportunities for romance in life. So why are you trying to get from this one person? You know, they can give you love, they can give you romantic love, but you don't need to attach all your ideal notions of romance from one person. Bringing us to the next principle, or the third principle, and that is romance is different for everyone. What your partner finds romantic, you might not find romantic. What other girls find romantic, you might not find romantic. And in order to create more romance in our lives, we really need to try and get away from the barriers or the kind of neat nets that have been placed by society, which say X, Y, and Z is what's romantic and the rest of the stuff is not romantic. You know, we've been conditioned to think, yes, you have to love chocolates and you have to love flowers, and if you don't, then you're not romantic. You know, how are you romantic? That's what romance is. Or, you know, if you don't fall in love at first sight, then it's not romantic. Weird things like that, where in real life, if someone fell in love with you on the spot from first seeing you, we might actually find that creepy. A lot of people find that creepy because you'll be like, you don't even know me. So we've been fed a lot of ideas of what romance is, and we need to understand that romance is actually something which is individual for us, and therefore we can create more of it if we understand what we find romantic, what we find mystery and excitement from in our lives. So the next part of this is going towards what we can actually do. Now, this is kind of mixed up with mindset because it's all kind of mind tricks or mind things we can do, but bear with me. The first thing we can do is making sure any romantic action we take is towards us internally as a person and not for external show. So a good example of this is, or a good way to portray this is Instagram. Oh my god, Instagram. That is like where anyone who is ever desperate for any romance in their life will go, because it's the highlight reel, it's the romance reel, where everyone has these external creations of romantic events. They'll do so many things to create that Instagram moment or that Instagram caption or whatever to show their boyfriend, you know, did that amazing meal for them and planned everything with balloons and I don't know, you know, there's all these romantic things, and it's all a kind of external show, but it actually takes away the romance from something, because romance, when something is romantic and something is surprising, exciting, it's also often very intimate, very delicate, very what do you call it? It's like a butterfly which you can't catch, you know. It's something which is temporary, but it's the beauty of that temporariness which kind of makes it romantic to us. You know how our brain is wired for romance. It's wired for romance because our brain has a very selective way of remembering things. So when we look back at a memory, usually we don't remember the bad things. We'll kind of romanticize our past and be like, oh yeah, that was amazing, or you know, we'll forget the very fuzzy small details which might have irritated us on that day, but we'll look back and be like, that was so amazing. So it's really hard to do that when every single thing is documented and every single thing is showcased towards the world. So it's important that when you're trying to create romance in your life, you're doing it for yourself, not the version of romance that you think you need to portray to the world, because that's something else, which is going to be my next point. My next point is, when you try and create romance in your life, we need to do actions which are not showmance. So we need to start separating our actions of showmance from our actions of romance. So what is showmance? I like to think of it as a word I just made up. Showmance for me, I'm sure there's a showmance word, but showmance for me is kind of like when you're doing things just to show other people that you're adored. So I'm gonna direct this to girls because I think a lot of girls do this. You know how when boys often show off their girlfriends and are like, you know, she's so hot, she's so la la la, and like kind of in that trophy fashion. I think a lot of girls do this as well, but we do that with men's emotions. Like when a man, you know, writes a romantic card or does this one romantic thing like getting us flowers or something, for some reason, maybe not even on social media, but we feel this need to tell everyone. We feel this need to show everyone their vulnerability and all those emotional things they did, at least a little part of it. And I don't know why. It's like, that's showmancing, that's not romance. You've taken someone's emotional vulnerability and kind of the effort and the delicate nature of that event or that intimate event, and you're just putting it out in the world. Even if it's just your parents or whoever, you're just putting it out in the world to kind of show them like, oh look, he does love me, like I know you don't like him but he loves me, okay? Like to just kind of prove this point that, you know, we are loved, we're adored. And it's not romance, and actually kills the romance, because who wants to show you their feelings if someone's constantly using that in a transactional way to kind of show it to the world and be like, yeah, see, I am loved, they did this. Like, it kills any opportunity for romance, which is why it's an action. You need to make sure you start separating your showmance acts from your romance acts, and actually, you know, ask people, do you know, ask yourself, do I really want to show this to the world? Am I going to keep this intimate and delicate towards myself and a memory for myself, rather than to show everyone else, even if they love us, even if, you know, even if they would be happy for us? Am I really gonna use this moment to show other people, even if it's between two best friends? Like, I see a lot of showmance best friendships on Instagram where it's like, I love you and you love me, and let's post so much about each other so everyone knows how much, you know, amazing, cool, exciting things we do with each other because we're such good friends. And it's like, you're ruining that, the sweetness of the events that you have. Not saying that friendships are romantic, I'm just saying, like, there are romantic moments which blossom within friendships, not towards the person, but when you engage in like activities together, like going on trips, traveling, and you might, you know, go and see the Taj Mahal or something, and it's like, it is romantic because it's just a new exciting experience. So those kind of stuff. So trying to get away from showmance, we're moving towards romance. And that goes to my next set of things that we can do, and that is to not, these are a lot of negatives, but they'll turn to positives. But another non-action you can do is not depending on one event to give us all our romantic needs, or trying to create romance from really momentous, big, extravagant occasions. What do I mean by this? Well, we see, you know, the Kim Kardashian, Kanye West flower wall kind of moments. We see these kind of big moments, and I think a lot of girls, I'm making assumptions here, but they're pretty accurate. Like, a lot of girls like to compromise in their brains, compromise and say, well, you don't have to be romantic, you don't have to do X, Y, and Z for me, but I want this to be perfect. I want my wedding, no, the wedding has to be like this. I didn't ask for any of the other stuff. My wedding has to be perfect. It's like, you can't expect this one event to fulfill all your romantic needs. It's very toxic and it's not realistic. What we should be doing is creating romance in little everyday things in our life, and that's through understanding how to appreciate and how to have gratitude towards the little things in life. So it's appreciation for little things. So when you have that cup of tea and you read that book, and you can like light a candle, and you can make that more, you know, that feeling of more, like, it's more romantic to you, because it just feels like you've escaped your everyday drudgery of life. Or when you go out to nature and have a walk, you've escaped a little bit of your everyday life, so you can make it more romantic because you're incorporating something other into your routine, which makes it seem more exciting and mysterious. You know, go off that off-beaten path. You have Google Maps. If you get lost, you can come back. Like, just go off and just, you know, explore things. Take that time for exploration, to explore new places, explore different things to do, or even, you know, explore things within your own home. You know, bake something new, cook something new, do something new or novel, little things to incorporate in your life. What you're doing is, and I'll relate it briefly to the law of attraction, what you're doing is you're opening up that energy to tell the universe, I want more romance, I want more excitement, I want more novel things in my life. You're letting the universe know those are the things you want, and the universe in turn will bring that towards you. Okay? You're letting yourself, also you're training your mind. If you don't believe in the law of attraction, you're training your mind. That's what it is. You're training your mind to see those new opportunities, see those opportunities where you can create more romance. Oh yeah, you know what? There's a beach 10 miles away. I didn't know that. We can go to the beach. We can go. Like, I literally had a friend who didn't know that the beach was like really close by. until I said, hey, let's go. And then she was like, oh, there's a beach. And it's like, it's not that I'm amazing, I am quite good at planning, I will take that award, but it's because my eyes are open to new opportunities. I'm always looking like at new things, new places to explore. Like even in COVID, it's like, okay, we can't go out of the country, what can we do inside here, what can we do which is safe? Like finding those new opportunities and being creative and imaginative of how to bring adventure into your life, and that will make you more romantic, that will make life more romantic in turn. So this is related to another point, and that is you need to become appreciative. You need to become appreciative of the little things or the things in your life which make it unique and special. When you have your tea, okay, I don't drink tea, so whatever, hot chocolate with like a little bit of cinnamon in it or something, and you're thinking, I'm appreciative of this, I'm appreciative I get to have a warm snuggly home where I can like slip on some slippers and watch a movie or something. I'm appreciative of this. When you become appreciative of those moments, you realize, okay, this is something which is unique, special in my life. My life is not boring, it's special, it's unique. And you're just, again, opening yourself up to more experiences because you're appreciative of those things that you have in your life. You start having a new outlook where you think, actually, I'm not just walking through the woods and it's not just, wind and everything. You're like, oh my god, I can hear so many birds, I can see so many flowers, I can see so many doggies walking around, lots of little doggies walking around, and you can make the whole experience more romantic and more satisfactory inside of you. So you feel, actually, I had a great day, it was exciting, there were so many things to kind of see and touch and smell and explore. So make sure that you're appreciative of those little things, and it in turn makes your life more romantic because you see more opportunities. And this relates to point, I don't know what point it is, but this relates to my next point, which is making sure you're present in the moment. Women, I know it's not just women, but it's women. Like, we need to make ourselves more present in the moment and not try and perfect the moment. I talked about the brain and how we're very fuzzy sometimes when we're trying to memorize something, or like trying to remember something apart from photos and stuff, like trying to remember the quality or feeling. And honestly, if you don't care so much about the flower arrangements not being perfect, or that person not coming to your event, or whatever it is that's really bothering you, and you just learn to be present in the moment, guess what? Your mind is going to remember that moment as romantic and beautiful. It's going to remember it as a great time because you're not so focused on that negative thing which happened in that moment. When we're being present, it's related to our feminine energy, believe it or not. It's being, it's to be. Masculine energy is about being, creating, or what we can do, whereas feminine energy is being. So romance is also about being, and by just realizing that each moment is perfect, that each moment is the way that it's supposed to be, we're able to really see the beauty and magic of it so much more. The best example I can give of this is a mandala. Now, if you study or if you follow Mahayana Buddhism, Buddhist monks make mandalas. I think Hindus do this too, but Buddhist monks make mandalas where they'll have very intricate designs, and they'll create this beautiful pattern, this beautiful artwork. They'll pray over it. And do you know what they do after they pray over it? I'll give you a few seconds. Might even give you a few options down below of what they do. Do they Instagram it? Do they secure it so that no one can use it, that area? Do they cover the area? Or do they destroy it? What do? They destroy it. They destroy the mandala because, one, it's supposed to signify that no matter how much we create in life, everything will be destroyed by death and you start anew. But also, I think it's a very befitting metaphor to show that beauty is beauty for the sake of beauty. It don't have to have a meaning. It doesn't have to have some deeper, higher purpose. And once it's created, it can be destroyed, because it was the creation of that moment which was glorious. Okay, it's not about holding on to it and videoing it and, you know, making sure no one can destroy that moment. It's like, once the moment's created, that's it, and then you can let it go. So be present in the creation of the moment, and know that once it's gone, it's gone. You know, maybe you'll have a memory of it, we'll have a pretty memory of it, but that's it. Once it's gone, it's gone. You don't have to hold on to that moment, and there'll be so many more mandalas that you can make. There's so many more moments you can make. So try to make sure that you're always present in the moment when you're creating. Okay, I've said a lot of negatives of like what not to do. Let's go to our positives. So let's think about creation and how romance is tied to creation, and how we're going to create more romance through creation. Carve out some time for you to be spontaneous or creative in your calendar. I know a lot of people, we have so much going on in our lives, especially when we're trying to build our careers, build like our momentum and things. But carve out some time for some spontaneity. So that means a weekend or a day or whatever, a month, where you, not a month, a week a day or weekend a month, where you just have space to create or have space to do something novel. And you're not planning it. You're not like, yeah, I have to be at this person's birthday at 6 o'clock and I have to be here at 10 o'clock and I have to do this assignment at 5 o'clock or whatever it is. 5 a.m. Those times didn't match, but it's okay. So it's about having a time where you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to figure it out when I get to that time. And it's that protected space. I guess in career terms we call it like protected space or time blocking, where you literally have that time to do what your heart content is. Creating that protected space helps us learn how to be in our creative energy. This relates to our next point, okay? And our next point is, bear with me, it's trying to make sure that you create beautiful moments for other people. So, you know, now you're thinking, okay, I'm trying to create more romance in my life. Why am I creating for other people? Didn't you say other people don't count and I shouldn't be worried about other people and their external stuff and blah blah blah. Okay. And romance, or that feeling of excitement, that quality of excitement, it's a quality of feeling from inside, but it's also an exchange of energy. You know, we do a kind act for someone else and then they do it for someone else, and then it comes back somehow to us. It's an exchange of energy, like that, like the circle of kindness. It's a circle of romance. Think of it as a circle of romance, where you do something exciting or sweet or nice for someone else to kind of boost their energy. But the caveat, you're not doing it with ulterior motives. You're not doing it to get them to do something for you, and you're not waiting, okay, they did this for me and I'm going to do this for them. You're just doing it for the simple reason that you have so much affection, or you have so much, you know, you have so much in abundance within you that you can give it to someone else, and you're just doing it for the simple creation of beauty into the universe. Give an example of this. An example of creating abundance for other people and keeping that energy flow between other people is by creating little notes for one another. So me and my friends, we used to exchange notes between each other. So we say, you know, you're so beautiful today, you're so, you know, you have a beautiful smile, I'm so happy that you're here, you raise my energy up and you're so kind. And we just send each other notes in class. We'd put them in our bedrooms, you know, because we lived together. We just put little notes in our bedrooms, sticky notes, not text, but like sticky notes, all up on our walls, and like just positive affirmations. And we didn't do it in a tallying system. It's literally when you felt it in the moment, you just wrote it and gave it to that person. That's it. Like, it's not for an ulterior motive. We never posted them on Instagram or whatever. It was just for us. So when you start doing those kind of things, you're kind of creating this energy where you're giving space, first of all, for other people to do that to you. Because, you know, obviously one of us started writing notes, and then the others just naturally in your heart, you start wanting to do those things. But you're also making sure it's not an expectation from other people. You're just giving that energy to the universe. You're just brightening someone's day just for the sake of doing it. So even if they say thank you or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because you're doing it just for your enjoyment. It's kind of like when Joey told Phoebe, you do selfless things because selfishly it makes you happy. It's kind of like that. You are selfishly making yourself happy because you're kind of like that magic fairy godmother in Cinderella. You're like sprinkling joy and you're sprinkling happiness into other people's lives. And that makes you feel like a magical person, because you're like, I did that. I made something great for someone else. I made their day great. I made them smile. Finally, we've kind of come to the end of this video. I didn't want to make it too long. I realized it was really long, so I'm just going to cut it here. I can do a part 2 if you need me to. But I want to send a Valentine's Day message to you. And that is, even if you're single, even if your partner doesn't do the romantic things you want them to do, I invite you to recognize that you can make your life more romantic. You deserve to have a life which is more romantic, and consequently you can do those little things for yourself to make it more romantic. It's not pathetic. It's not pathetic for me to have a candle up there because I want to, you know, create more light. It's not pathetic, or it's not silly to give yourself chocolates or give yourself roses or whatever just to brighten your day. As long as you are not faking that it came from someone else, you know, you can just do it for you. It's not bad to want to do things or create more romance in your life. I should have said this in the start of your video, but this is my Valentine's Day message to you, that you can create the romantic Valentine's Day that you want. It's all in your hands to do that if you want it to, if you want it to be that way. And I wish you a very happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, and please let me know how you've created more romance in your life.